Hey there guys, how's it going? This is Noah from Xiron eSports and welcome back to another video where today we are going to be playing the unofficial NASCAR Racing 2020 season. And now I know that I've already attempted twice to start a quest for the Cup career mode, but this time I've actually freaking tested it, so I know 100% that it will work and that I will be able to do it. I've tried it twice on NASCAR Heat 5, it did not work out, but it's finally going to work out on NR2020. We're going to make it happen, and so today, the Xiron eSports channel presents the setup for the NR2020 Quest for the Cup career mode. Here we go. So, the first thing that we are going to look at is the series information. So, Season 1 is going to be 20 races with 5 Crown Jewel events, double points in the Daytona 500, and that's it. That's the only thing that's going to be variable throughout each season is those 3 things. Those 3 things may change. Other than that, the series info, roster changes will be enabled, variable driver and team ratings, meaning that drivers and teams will get better and worse throughout the seasons of this career mode, and the teams will come and go. So some teams may shut down or open up. We'll see how it goes, but that is a possibility in this. And of course, the final thing, NR2020 is not a real game. I'm just using NR2003, and I modded it to look like NR2020. I just wanted to tell you guys that it's not a real game you can buy, but you can get NR2003. So I just want to let you guys know that before we get into the rest of the video. Alright, so now that you guys know basically what the NR2020 Quest for the Cup career is going to be about, let's take a look at the Season 1 2021 schedule. We're going to start it off with the Daytona Road Course and then follow it up at the same facility for the Daytona 500, which is the first Crown Jewel race, the biggest race of the season. And of course the Daytona Road Course, not a Crown Jewel race, it's just to hype us up before the Daytona 500, but still Daytona Circuit will be opening up the season. Then we're going to go to the Auto Club Short Track, which you can get in NR2020 or NR2003. I'm just going to call it NR2020. And then we're going to go to the Indianapolis Road Course for 2 races before we go to a fantasy track, the Boston Speedway. It's a fantasy track that's been modded into the game, just like most of these tracks. I don't know that any of these tracks actually came with the game. And then we're going to go to the Yas Marine Circuit in Abu Dhabi before we head to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Road Course. So it's kind of like a roval. We're going to go to the Las Vegas Road Course. Then 2 Crown Jewel races out of the 5. Bristol and Martinsville, we're going to have 2 short track races in a row, Crown Jewels. And then, of course, the halfway point of the season arrives. To start off with the second half, we're going to have Talladega, Silverstone in Great Britain, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, and then for race 14, we are going to head to the Papyrus Speedway, which of course is named after the developers, publisher, whatever you call it, of the original NR2003 game. Then we're going to go to the modded track of the Charlotte Roval, and then of course another oval race to follow up a road course configuration at the same track. We're going to go to the 4th Crown Jewel race, the Coke 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So then after that, for race number 17, we're going to go to a bit of a hybrid between real life and fantasy tracks. This is going to be a very high-banked Watkins Glen International, the same layout that NASCAR really uses in the Cup Series, but it's going to be a banked, and I mean really high-banked track. After that, we're going to go to the highly anticipated North Wilkesboro Speedway for a doubleheader, 2 weekends in a row. We're going to head at North Wilkesboro Speedway, the first of which will be a Crown Jewel race, and then we're going to wrap it all up at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway's Super Speedway version. Of course, kind of like Watkins Glen, it's going to be a banked version of the real track, so that's how it's going to look. And so yeah, that is going to be your Season 1 schedule for 2021 and NR2020. So let's head on to the third and final part of this video, the Season 1 2021 entry list. So this is 40 drivers entered in the Cup Series for this roster. It's going to be very different from what real life 2021 will be because I simulated 2020, made everybody's contract expired, and then I'm going to do silly season based off of the 2020 simulated results. If you want to see those results, feel free. Just go down and click the link in the description below, and there will be a Google spreadsheet on a bit.ly link, and that will show you why everybody ends up where I'm about to show you the team they end up with. So, up first is going to be a driver and team that stayed the same, the 00 Starcom Racing, Quinn Houff as the driver. So, yeah, not much to say there. They didn't do very well in the 2020 sim season, and personally, I don't expect much more. Chip Ganassi Racing is going to have Kurt Busch, the 5th place driver in the championship from 2020. 42 that was driven by Matt Kenseth will now be taken over by Tyler Reddick, who moves on from Richard Childress Racing, and Ross Chastain will be in a 3rd Ganassi car in the number 45. Now at Team Penske, we're going to have Matt Benedetto in the number 2, Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano in the 12 and 22 cars respectively. Benedetto replaces Brad Keselowski, who has moved on to a team that I'm sure most of you guys have already guessed which team it is going to be. But yeah, no changes other than Dibby at Team Penske. Now, Rich Children's Racing. Austin and Ty Dillon, the two grandchildren of Richard Childress, will be the drivers of the 3 and 31 cars for the team. Obviously, Austin Dillon not going anywhere. Eventually, Ty Dillon was going to end up in a Richard Childress racing car, and here he is. Now, the only championship-winning driver so far at Stewart-Haas Racing is going to be Kevin Harvick, returning again in the Mobil 1 Ford number 4. Corey LaJoie and Chase Briscoe are going to replace the number 10 and 14 drivers from last year of Eric Almirola and Clint Bowyer, and then Cole Custer will return for his second season in the NASCAR Cup Series. Now, at ROUSH FENWAY Racing, Ryan Newman and Chris Buescher will remain teammates in the same car numbers, same everything. Nothing changing there, so let's move on to the next team. So at Team Hendrick, we have Chase Elliott returning in the number 9. Not really surprised there. He had a very strong season, making the Final Four last season. William Byron did all right last year. He stays in the 24. Brad Keselowski, like a lot of you probably guessed, ended up at the vacated 48 car that used to be driven by Jimmy Johnson. And Eric Jones had a rough season in the Joe Gibbs Racing car last year. So after being booted in favor of another driver at the 20 car, he moves on to the 88 for this team. So at Joe Gibbs Racing, we have Denny Hamlin, who won the 2020 championship in the simulated season, along with Kyle Busch, two-time champion, and the 2017 champ Martin Truex Jr., all staying the 11, 18, and 19 cars. And then Eric Jones is not in the 20 car. That's a typo. Christopher Bell is going to be in that car after a strong season at Levine Family Racing, beating out Jones in the final standings. And of course, with Tyler Reddick moving into the 42 car at Ganassi, we have Ty Dillon moving to RCR, and Kaz Gralla will fill in the seat that was left open by Ty Dillon at Germain Racing in the 13. He'll be sponsored by Louisiana Hot Sauce, moving up from a RCR program in Xfinity, and he seems to be a talented prospect. So the affiliate team of RCR, of course, definitely not a bad choice to put Kaz Gralla in that car. So at Wood Brothers Racing, we have Matt Benedetto moving on after the 2020 season. He takes over the number 2, vacated by Brad Keselowski, and Austin Cindric, the 2020 champion from the simulated NASCAR Xfinity Series season, is going to move up to the Penske Allied Wood Brothers car. And so it'll be interesting to see what the Junior Series champion can do. Colleague Racing is now going to be a full-time operation in the NR2020 season game, as Justin Haley will drive the number 16 FOE car, and Leaf Filter will sponsor the 26 of AJ Allmendinger, making his full-time return to the NASCAR Cup Series. It's going to be interesting to see what these two can do at a new team in the series. Up next is Go Fast Racing. Now, if you remember back to Stewart-Haas Racing, we had Corey LaJoie moving on from the team to take over Eric Almirola's former ride in the number 10. Timmy Hill will finally get a bit of an opportunity as he goes to a Stewart-Haas Alliance car, and so it'll be interesting to see how he stacks up against LaJoie's success in the past few years. Now at Front Row Motorsports, you have to remember that I was using the NASCAR Heat 5 roster for the most part to decide how I was going to simulate the 2020 season. David Reagan was in the game, and so he stays in the number 36 car for Front Row. You have Michael McDowell in the number 34 and John Hernan Nemechek in the 38. All three drivers will return from 2020. Now at JTG Daugherty Racing, we have Ryan Preece, the New England kid, very, very successful modified racer, returning to the team in the number 37. We'll see if he can improve on the past few seasons. And then in the 47, we have Recce Spinhouse Loser back in the car again. I think I'm very clever for putting the LR as the abbreviation for loser. Anyway, Bubba Wallace is going to be returning to Richard Petty Motorsports in the Cash App number 43. Only one-year contracts, so if it doesn't go too well, he can always move on to another team. We'll see what he can do, though. I expect some good things out of him in this 2021 season, but if not, opportunity definitely awaits him, I would think, in this career mode. Now, at Motorsports Business Management, we have Daniel Suarez moving on from Gaunt Bros Racing to drive the number 49, and in the number 66, we have our first fantasy character in the NASCAR Racing 2020 season. We have Carter McAvron. Obviously, I don't know who's going to come out of go-karts. I don't know real names, so I'm just going to start incorporating some rookie drivers that I come up with. Same with Marie Ambers. She is going to be driving for SPIRE Motorsports, the number 77. And so her story in this game mode is that her family owns a company called AmberTech Industries, and so they have sponsored her and kind of bought her into this series. We'll see if she can make something happen at SPIRE Motorsports. Obviously, they are allied with CGR. And so we will see how she does. Levine Family Racing is going to finally expand to a second car, now heavily allied with Joe Gibbs Racing. Obviously, COVID never happened in this world because I created this roster before COVID even happened. Alex Bowman will be in the 95 after leaving Hendrick in favor of Eric Jones by Rick Hendrick, and Harrison Burton will move up from the Xfinity Series to the 97. And then last and possibly least, we have Gaunt Brothers Racing, where after Daniel Suarez, the 2016 Xfinity Series champion, moves on from the team and Chad Fincham swaps places with Suarez and takes over the number 96 Toyota. So we'll see how he does. Not expecting a ton from them, but best of luck to them, I guess. And so yeah, that will do it for the 2021 Season 1 entries for the NR 2020 Quest for the Cup Career Mode. I hope you guys think it's kind of interesting. I might have done some things that are a little bit less realistic than what you would expect, but I decided to try and make it a little bit interesting and a little bit realistic. Obviously, this is an entertainment YouTube channel thing, so you kind of have to try and make it interesting as well to try and get viewers and stuff, so that's what I'm trying to do for you guys. Make it fun, make it interesting. But yeah, that will do it for the NR 2020 Quest for the Cup Career Mode Season 1 Setup Part 00. Very, very excited for this thing to get underway. I hope you guys are as well. If you are, make sure to leave a like on the video. And of course, if you want to watch the next few parts of this series, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell, because you're going to miss it. I'm not a super popular channel, so you're going to want to make sure you subscribe to it. Otherwise, you are probably going to miss out, forget about it and everything. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment down below. Who are you going to be cheering for in this NR 2020 Quest for the Cup Career Mode? And really, any thoughts that you have about this series, I would love to know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. And of course, like I say every time, I really appreciate just the fact that you found my thumbnail good enough to want to click on this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I would really appreciate if you go above and beyond and like and subscribe. That's much appreciated. I put a lot of work into these videos. Anyway, I'll see you soon. My name is Noah from Xiron eSports. Peace out.